This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design. Kiwi is the leader in Oculus Quest and VR accessories. And now, you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast.
The Oculus Quest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever find things could be a bit more comfortable, maybe a little safer? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and so much more.
And let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. You don't want to be that guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes now to prepare yourself today.
And you don't need to sacrifice comfort for cost either. Kiwi is constantly running promotions of 20, 25, and even 30% off.
Just visit the link in our show notes and use the promo code on their website to take full advantage of your savings. And be sure to follow the link in our show notes so we get credit and you help support the podcast. And remember, Kiwi has you covered for all your VR needs. This podcast is brought to you today by Zencastr, the company we choose to use for our interviews.
I remember that first interview we had and the stress that we went through trying to find a platform that we were going to host this on.
That's where Zencastr came in. With HD video recording and studio sound quality, we were able to connect seamlessly with guests all over the world.
I love the fact that it's as easy as sending our guests a link, they click on it, and they're connected.
With automatic post-production, secured cloud backup, and automated transcripts, Zencastr is the perfect solution for any remote podcast. If you want to make remote podcasting easy,
make sure you go to zencastr.com/pricing and enter the promo code Ruff Talk VR, and you'll save 30% off your first 3 months.
That's zencastr.com/pricing, promo code Ruff Talk VR. It's your time to share your story. Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we're talking about another rhythm game that will make you sweat. This is the ever popular Synth Riders.
Yeah, I've been dying to do this one. Yeah, I really have for the longest time.
I've noticed you have a real soft spot for rhythm games, so you've been really on me about this one.
Yeah, I almost don't care what it could be drums, it could be Beat Saber, it could be, each seems to have their own little, and I guess even the guitar one, Unplugged, that's a rhythm one, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like we almost have two different type of rhythm games. You have rhythm games that are just, rhythm based, like Unplugged, and then you have fitness rhythm games.
Yeah, this is like fitness to the.
This will make you sweat, like I said. This is, stretch before.
How they don't use that song as one of the songs that you can. I'm gonna make you sweat.
Yeah,
I think there was an old pop song that.
Well, hey, nonetheless, we'll get into their diverse soundtrack in just a minute and all that. But again, the game we're talking about is Synth Riders. It's made by developer, I apologize if I pronounce this incorrectly, Kluge Interactive.
Kluge or Klug?
Kluge. It's Kluge. It's $24.99 on the official Oculus Quest store. It came out back in October 31st, 2019, and it's currently rocking a 4.7 overall with 2,118 ratings and 1,182 written reviews.
This game's it's an oldie. It's been around for a long time. Halloween too.
Yeah,
on Halloween.
But not for nothing, still popular. I see a lot of people posting about this. I see it coming up a lot.
Yeah, and they're always dropping sales on it. So I mean, yeah, it's $24.99, but you can, there's no reason you can't pick it up for what, 19, maybe even.
Yeah, depending
18.
on what sale you're grabbing.
Yep. So I mean, I've listened. I mean, I'm gonna say right up front, I guess I'm a little biased because I do like all rhythm type style games, and I haven't really seen a horrendous one yet. So I'm just gonna put it out there that my opinion might be a little.
Whereas me, I'm the opposite. I tend to have a little negative bias towards.
Yeah, you're an arm twist sometimes to get you to.
They tend to be very hard to capture my interest. Like, they tend to be very hard for me to do more than like 2 levels of, and then be like, all right, I'm done. There's no purpose, anything like that. I personally tend to get bored of rhythm games very fast.
No, I mean, you gave Beat Saber, and that was our old rating, so it was like a 6.8. So that would have been like a 60%.
Yeah,
like 60.
68.
So Beat Saber was definitely not your thing. But
and that's not because it's a bad game at all. I even gave it a lot of props. It's a good game. It didn't really fully get me, and that's usually how I am with rhythm games. I really liked Unplugged, but this is a game that has an incredible amount of songs.
Mm-hmm.
Of I'd say a diverse amount of genres as well. That's kind of some of my critiques with some of the other rhythm games. Like Beat Saber was very electronic music based, you could say.
Yeah. I
Whereas,
mean, you can buy some DLCs.
yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, in like the base soundtrack
Yeah,
of the
no,
game.
I won't argue that. I can't argue that.
Whereas Synth Riders, you have a very wide variety of genres. So right off the top, that makes it easier for me to hop into because it's like it's music I actually enjoy.
Yeah, no, they give you I mean, obviously there's DLCs you can get for extra music packs, but if you just standard bought the game and don't want to spend any other money, yeah, they give you a good variety of songs to choose from.
Yeah, and there is built-in custom song support. So if you're one of those people that really get into rhythm games and you blow through all the DLC, all the built-in songs, and you just need more, there's a very vibrant community doing their own, custom songs, and there's built-in support for it right in the game as well.
Yeah, and it's, granted the game came out October 2019. It's not an ignored.
No,
It's
constantly
not ignored at
updating
all. So it's like there seems to be progress made, and I mean, I would have loved to have played it in 2019 and know how it's changed, because I really don't know how it's changed.
Yeah, we hopped in. You've been playing it a little bit longer than me because again, you were trying to sell me on it, but we hopped in within the last year on it.
And I get it. It's like I'm like, dude, I want you to get Synth Riders, and it's a $24.99 game. So it's like your timing obviously had to be good, unless you paid the $24. I don't even know, but I mean, come on, you like fitness, so.
Yeah, and hey, look at this. I went on this long rant that, rhythm games aren't really my thing. After playing this game a couple months, really giving it some honest playtime, it's not a bad game at all. It's actually a lot of fun.
No, I'm convinced that the amount of athleticism or the calories you burn playing it, that if somebody out there were to do like 120-day Synth Rider challenge.
Yeah, I was going to say a challenge of it.
Yep, I'm going to play for minimally 45 minutes every single day. Obviously coupled with a good eating diet and all that, but I think the before and after from 120 days of playing this game, of course, you're going to get better at it, so you're going to change your difficulty.
Yeah, you're going to go up from easy to normal.
Yeah, and you'll be working out even harder and faster and so on and so on. Although I still don't know how anybody does the master levels of any song in this game. It's freaking nuts.
That's how I feel watching any rhythm game. Anytime I see any footage of people doing the hardest difficulty in these type of games, I'm like, you people are psychopaths. Like, how? How do you have the reflexes, the hand speed? It's wild. My brain is too slow for that.
And so what's cool, and we'll break it down with the game. I mean, it's not like Beat Saber where you're swinging a lightsaber at things coming at you. This game, you're relying on just your knuckles per se, with like, they give you balls. They're like striped balls that are on the end of your knuckles, and they throw different balls at you. Obviously, your left hand's one color, your right hand's another color.
Yeah, which is pretty cool that they let you change those colors as well.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I did, and I'm like, oh, because they give you they just don't let you change the colors. They give you the full color spectrum.
Yeah, to choose from.
Like the 2.5 million, whatever, 24 million color possibilities you can use. So I did two good ones, and then because I played so long with the default colors, it totally fucked up my game.
That's the only reason I didn't change it, because so the default colors they give you in your hands, you have in your right hand, it's like a pinkish red.
I call it red so I can remember under high stress is like
red is right.
Yep.
And then in your left hand is a light blue, but for some reason my brain thinks, like, the first time I play it, like, blue should be the right hand.
Oh no.
So it took me a long time. It probably took me like a week or two of playing before I stopped missing, because like my brain finally understood that right is red, left is blue, but I was always so scared to just change it, because like you go, well, why don't you just make, your right hand blue, then your left hand red?
Because then you'll start.
Yeah, I was worried
the other way.
Yeah, my goodness, I'm like, I'm already like a week invested into this color scheme. I don't want to change it.
I'm probably like the only guy who just runs on the default, because
that's what I do.
So accustomed. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to mess my brain up.
It's nice that they give you the options. A, if you're colorblind, choose a color that you can actually, differentiate.
Correct.
And then also just like, hey, if for whatever reason your brain's not remembering that color scheme for that ball, then, it's easy to remember. But nonetheless, like you were saying, in each hand you have a ball, and you can either touch them with the balls coming your way, or if you're like me, you can jab and punch them. I like to attack like it's a boxing game sometimes.
But you gotta, to get a good score, you gotta hit your ball
perfectly lined up,
perfectly centered with the
incoming balls.
Yeah.
So the balls coming your way, obviously it'll be, if it's a red ball, hit that with your right hand. If it's a blue ball, hit that with your left hand. And then there's these other ones. There's green ones, by default they're green, which you can hit that with either hand to start with. But whatever hand you hit it with, you gotta keep hitting it with that hand.
Yeah, and it's not like they're throwing one green ball at you and then, oh, look, there's another. So it'll be a nice string of them.
Well, at least on easy and normal. I can't comment on master. Maybe that's how shit works on master. I'm not good enough to play on the.
I try master, but
hardest
I don't make it more than 15 seconds.
Yeah. So besides the colored balls for which one are in each hand, you have the green ones that you can hit with whichever hand, and then you have these orange ones that you have to hit with both hands at the same time.
Yep.
And then also at the same time, besides these balls just coming in crazy sequences and different patterns, then there's these walls that you have to either duck or dodge, move to the left, move to the right, duck, squat, evade. So between, you moving your hands crazy, because it's not like red balls always come on the right side. You might get a red ball on the left side, so you got to fucking move your hand all the way over to the other side real fast. And then you have a wall coming, you got to, duck, evade it. You'll be sweating, I promise.
So one of the biggest tips I'll give on this game is, if you think of it as a dance and not like hitting the balls, like typically whatever your right hand does for a second, and they use a lot of fluid motions. There's not like, that's where I give them a lot of credit, and I'm not knocking Beat Saber because I like Beat Saber, but I mean, shit, what did I give Beat Saber? I gave him an 8, so that would have been like an 80. Their motions are more, jabbing down and right and left and up and occasionally diagonally and some shit like that. This is a fluid, it's a dance.
Yeah, you get into like a flow state almost.
Yeah, if you recognize and respect that, okay, here's a pattern that's coming up that's going to involve my right hand, and it's going to, move and spiral and kind of flow, then get ready with your left hand, because the same thing's going to happen with your left hand. They're very, it's just a dance.
Yeah.
So if you play it standing and like stiff, no, you'll probably struggle to get good at it.
Yeah, you got to be ready to move around. Ready to flow, step left and right.
I'd be embarrassed to see what I really look like, because I'm in my head, I'm legit dancing. Like, I'm even like snaking side to side.
And one thing we kind of forgot to go over with the gameplay, but you kind of referenced a little bit, it's not always these balls coming at you. Sometimes it'll be like a long rail looking thing that you have to.
Starts with a ball.
Yeah, it starts with a ball. So you hit it, and then you got to like follow your hand on the rail as it goes. And then sometimes it's not a rail, but you'll have like, 25 balls like spaced an inch away. So it's basically a rail of just little balls too, Yep.
And your hands got to stay in. I mean, again, I can't emphasize the workout aspect of it enough, because the amount of like, I'm just thinking of the different modes that they have, like one where, they have it so default they're coming at you, but they have one where, you physically have to turn around in your room.
The spiral mode, I think it is.
You can even kick it up even another notch. And then the standard gameplay, we play the rhythm-based.
Yeah, I like this. For me personally, the standard rhythm mode's the most fun, but that might just be because like I'm not the best at the game. Perhaps if I played enough that I was like Masters easy. Now I need some gameplay variety, so that's probably when those things come in.
Yeah, they also give you force mode, so you can, instead of it being where you have to line up the ball perfectly, you're kind of punching the notes. And the harder you punch, the better your score will be for each note you punch. And that's something that I think you would probably do good at. But most of the top scores I see are all rhythm. Well,
I like the rhythm one because it's so challenging. There's just so much to keep in mind, because like, so you have the how perfectly you line up your handball to the incoming balls to get your perfect.
Yeah.
That's where I struggle the most. I get a lot of goods.
And they give you good stat background.
Yep.
Like
at the end, they'll break it down.
Yeah.
So you can either get a perfect hit, a good hit, or a poor hit, or you miss. So you have that aspect, just hitting the ball itself. Then are you hitting it perfect, or are you getting good? And then you have a multiplier. So it's like, you miss once, you just ruined. You miss once like a quarter into the song, you've ruined your score because like your
if you're playing
multiplier.
multiplayer,
Yeah,
for sure.
Or if you're just trying to beat your former high scores or anything like that.
I know. The other night when we were playing, because it's cool when you play multiplayer. You don't see the person when you play. You can see their score, but I tend not to look up.
No, if you do, you're gonna miss.
Right?
Like absolutely.
So we were playing, and then I missed one, and the like voice will tell you second place. You know, like damn. Bust my ass, bust my ass, bust my ass, and then I heard first place because you obviously missed one.
Yep.
And this is where those multipliers start coming into play because
if you miss one halfway through and the other guy doesn't, you're done. You're done. There's no way. Your score's meaningless now.
You're gonna play a 3-minute song and you already know you lost.
And it's like, so at the end when they give you the stat breakdown, it's cool because you can hover over, like it'll say, example, you got 100 perfect hits, 50 good hits, and 2 poor hits. When you hover over that, it'll show you how much of your total score came from those hits. Yeah. So example, you got, a million or 1.5 million score. You hover over your perfect. It's like your perfect got you a million of those points were because of your perfect hit. So it's really good feedback at the end.
I think the whole game is designed just around the principle of have fun, exercise. Because to me, it's just an exercise. It's just a fitness game. Hidden.
Yeah,
hidden behind
hey,
check out this rhythm game.
Well, that's why I say
then you try it, and by the time you figure out, hey, this is really an exercise game,
you're having fun.
You're hooked.
Yeah,
you're hooked.
And again, they do a really good job not being married to one song genre or like one musical genre. It's obviously there's not like classic music or anything like that.
I haven't heard one song that I've been like, oh shit, I know this song.
Yeah, it's all a bunch of unknown songs as well.
But
besides the DLCs, they have some DLCs with some well-known artists.
Even their worst song, which I played the other day when you and I were playing. I was like, this is actually the worst song I think they have on the. So let's play it, and it's still not the worst song.
Yeah, no, it's because I don't know. They did a good job with the song selection, and it's diverse. It's not only electronic music, which they do have in there too.
No, and I like too. If you just want to buy like one song of the DLC, it's just $1.99.
Yep.
So, like, ooh, I want that, and I'm talking myself out of it. So far.
Well, they do a good job in that. Like
they give you challenges too, which is cool.
That's always good for replay value, in my opinion.
Yeah, you can do solo play, you can do party, you can do multiplayer.
But they're generous enough with the amount of songs that they give you that you really don't need to get the DLC until a while into gameplay.
No,
example, there's still songs that we haven't played. We have no score posted on some.
We love that Christmas song.
Yeah, the bells. I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember the names of any of the songs, but I can find them in the menu.
Yeah,
isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah, the music's a little loud.
Oh,
by default, they give you a real easy ability to turn it down.
Yeah, I keep mine on 5% preview.
5%
because
I do like 25.
No, it's so loud. Because then I can't hear you in the party chat. So they give you a solo mode, and a multiplayer mode, and a party mode. And the multiplayer mode is what we usually do, where it's pretty standard. Start a room and people join in. And like you said, you can see each other at first, but not while you play.
Not while you actually game.
But if we're gonna talk, I can't have that music preview going.
No,
not at all, because I'm not gonna hear you at all.
I usually just mine's loud as hell, but.
And then that party mode's just if you have one headset with a group of friends, you can do like a pass and play type mode.
Yeah, I'm gonna comment on that.
Well, because of the amount of sweat.
They just need to delete that shit.
Yeah, because I'm not passing my headset to somebody with a bunch of sweat all over it. You're sweating in this game.
Maybe 2 songs.
One song. You gotta do one song and pass.
Yeah,
at the most.
Because I was thinking, like, personally, I'm like, after the second song,
dude, I'm sweating,
and I'm playing in a t-shirt. It's winter, and I'm still sweating.
I'm not in terrible shape.
I'm not giving anybody my headset.
I'm not gonna brag about being no marathon runner, but it's not like I'm a bad athlete by any means. I'm sweating playing this. It's a good game.
It's a workout because it's you're doing squats. You're moving to the right. You're moving to the left. You're kind of swaying. Your arm movement is like a dance meets a choreographed stretch routine. I just think they did a genius job of it.
Oh yeah, and what I'll say is, unfortunately, to get on the leaderboards, you need a lot more than a perfect score. You need, like, if you don't miss a note,
I can't figure
you're
it
not
out.
going to get on the leaderboard. You need to get like 90% perfect hits to get on the leaderboard.
I do not know.
My best by far performance was I hit every note and I got like 60% perfect hits. And I got like 80 something on the leaderboards. I was like, man, it's going to be hard for me to top that.
No, I've gotten some perfect. I think the closest I've gotten on any song on the leaderboard is 20 something.
That's pretty good. That's really good.
I can't. But come on, that was like. So I don't know how people are getting, because I'll look at,
because they're getting like
especially
90%
in the harder
perfect.
Because I like to play on the normal mode,
Mm-hmm.
and then go up from there. But it's like, you'll come off of doing 3-4 minutes of a great freaking, you look up, perfect. I didn't miss a note. I got multipliers, and then the person who's number one is like a million
more, because they're getting those perfect notes. Those perfect notes make such a big difference.
Yeah,
So,
and when we're saying perfect, it's like you can hit. They'll give you credit for hitting each one of the balls they throw at you, but you get more points for hitting it perfectly.
Yeah.
But when we're saying perfect, we're not. We're talking about the you have to hit it kind of like double perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You have to hit it perfect to get the ball, and then
not miss a note perfect.
Not miss a note perfect, so you can get the multiplier that comes with.
Yeah.
So it is a little confusing.
Yeah, we should have probably used different words for those two things, but whatever.
You know what sold me off on this game for a while though?
What's that?
It was actually for some reason because when I go to get a game, I like to watch the movies they have.
The little trailer?
Yeah, the little trailer. Figure someone put it together, I might as well watch it, and it's usually a good glimpse of what there's no like switch bait normally going on, so and it just didn't seem like compelling enough.
See, I'm the opposite. I never watch those trailers, and I'll tell you why.
I wasn't quite sure. I'm like, are you shooting those things?
Yeah, you weren't sure what's going on.
I'm like, what is going on?
See, for me, it makes it so much more engaging and fun because I like to punch and box and stuff like that. Yeah. So acting like I'm boxing while I'm playing this game is so much fun.
The attached to your hands, like that concept is...
It's great. It's very playable. I remember I was playing this. It was one of the nights you couldn't play, and I was just playing by myself, and I was like, all right, I'll play this, and I'll switch to another game. And then...
I already know what you probably played.
Oh, yeah. We're playing this tower defense game that's a freaking just... We've been trying to review it for a couple weeks, and we're like, we'll review it next week, and it still can't beat it. But nonetheless, different conversation.
That's an app lab, too.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'll do some Synth Riders, and I'll go play some Iron Guard. And then I'm not doing too bad in Synth Riders. I start having some fun. And then I'm starting to get some decent scores. And then next thing you know, I didn't play Iron Guard at all. Next thing you know, it was bedtime. Like I just kept replaying songs. And what I like is like, I don't mind, and this is unique for me for rhythm songs or for rhythm games, but I don't mind playing the same song over and over and over again to just try to perfect my score. Usually I'm like, I don't want to.
You've obviously noticed I'm more of a song jumper.
Yeah, which is fair. That it's good to get the diversity.
Yeah, and I love when I haven't done a song.
And then you get a posted score on it.
Well, and it's like it's like the first time you do anything. Sometimes you do it better the first time than you do other times.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. Hey, not for nothing. You beat me every single time we play.
Mm-hmm.
Except I beat you for the first time the other night, and I was so proud of it.
I was salty.
I was so that was the one you were referencing before when you heard first place, second place, and we were back and forth the whole round.
Yeah, I was actually a little. I was like,
and then I ran away with it at the end. Yeah, I ran. It was those dude. I was hitting so many perfects. I'm not good at hitting perfects. I hit a lot of goods. I don't hit that many pours or bads, whatever it is, but I hit a lot of goods.
I just get frustrated when you do so good and then you miss one.
Oh my god, it kills you.
Just that one, and I don't even look up again. I don't look up at my score, but I know my multiplier's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my god, it's the worst is the times that I've messed up because for some dumb reason I decide to check a score or something. Like there's times I thought I missed a note and I didn't miss a note.
Look up and then miss a note.
Yes, and it's like, you idiot, just keep going.
It's the Synth Rider karma.
Yeah, it's the way it goes.
The community you mentioned too, it is a very active community, even to this day.
Yeah. Okay, so we've played some multiplayer rounds, right? We'll create a public room, and people join it very fast.
Yeah.
very fast.
Yep. And we don't throw invites out or anything.
No.
It's just, boom, pop it in
Some
there.
people pop. Yeah. I don't think there's been a single time we played with an open room for like 30 minutes and somebody hasn't hopped in.
No, it's cool too because we're obviously not at the level that probably most of the people are. So that
not at all.
If we play on normal mode, it's like people are gonna probably crush us. Yeah, which just happened. Although I did come in first the other day against some people I didn't know. So.
And let's be real. I mean, like anybody who's on my Oculus friends list can go check out my posted scores. It's not like I'm killing it. I'll be the first one to say I'm enjoying this game. Not that great at it. But you know what's something I do like about the leaderboards a lot before we get away from this?
What?
It's something actually really cool. For somebody like me who can't play on the higher difficulties, you look at the leaderboards and go, there's no way I'm getting on the leaderboard playing on easy or normal. But every difficulty has its own leaderboard for a song.
Yeah, they don't punish you for playing easy.
That's cool.
And it makes it even more impressive because if you look at all the different like easy, normal, hard, expert, master.
It's like they got that many points on easy.
Well, what's crazy is it's a lot of the same people.
Oh yeah, we have a podcast fan. It's actually one of the first people to review our podcast, which not for nothing. If you've been enjoying the podcast, be sure to subscribe, rate it 5 stars, drop us a review on Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. Join our subreddit over at r/Ruff Talk VR, all that fun stuff. But yeah, one of the first people to review our podcast. Big podcast fan. They dominate the leaderboards.
Videos. Yep.
And you'll see their name at the top of almost every song. Sometimes we'll see them 4 and I'll be like, oh wow, they're struggling on that one.
No, I that was one of the reasons I really wanted to try it because the videos were what made me see like, oh, okay, this is actually like.
And I could see how somebody could get a good fitness workout, like lose a lot of weight with this game. Like you said, do how many days did you say?
120.
120, that's a fair amount.
120-day challenge.
That's a very fair amount.
Because you figure in 30 days, anybody will lose 10 pounds just getting up to a TV set if you just lose water weight. So give yourself that extra couple months.
And I don't really care about the weight number because you know how it goes. You start to put on muscle too. It's just like the before and after pictures. I could see that this game could probably give you a lot of arm and shoulder definition.
Yeah, I mean it's good cardio. It's a good leg workout. It depending on the obviously easy's going to be not as challenging with the squatting and ducking and moving, but the higher levels you go up, yeah. I mean, I always hate saying, like I don't know. I think also the fact that our controllers have the kind of weight to them because we have the Kiwi.
Oh, that's a good
point.
That's
what I'm
a
saying?
good point. So it adds to the workout of it.
Yeah, and we're talking,
definitely.
It's not like an extra pound or anything.
No, but when you're it probably like adds 50% of the weight.
You're moving and then you're putting your hand up, and the way they got your hands going up over your head. They have there's been an issue for some with the game with the height detection.
You've seen that in like the reviews and stuff?
Yeah.
I haven't had too much of an issue with that at all.
What's weird is like
I wonder if that's people not setting their floor guardian correctly.
It had me at
That's the first thing I think of.
Had me set at 5'8", and I'm not 5'8".
Yeah, they let you change it, so.
Yeah, you can adjust it.
So that's not even a bitch to me. Yeah, the auto detect was off for me. It had me at 5'5".
So yeah,
and look, I know I'm not 5'5".
The only reason I bring it up is because
I know I'm not no 6 feet or nothing. I know, but I'm not 5'5". That's rude.
Yeah, I only bring it up so when you go and you do get the game, it'd probably be important to check the height that it thinks you are and make the necessary adjustments because what'll happen is you might have to bend. Just people have to bend over to like hit notes, and that should never be. They don't come that way.
Yeah, but I would say if you have that issue, just fix it in the settings. Pretty easy.
Yep, but it's not. It's been an issue, so it's worth knowing that. Just go and it doesn't matter how tall you are. I think it's probably going to default to everyone. Like,
yeah, I feel the same about that as Golf Plus. It's like I can't flag them anything like that when they give you the option to adjust it. Yeah, yeah.
I agree. Just not everyone knew that.
Yeah, always going for me. I'll say any game I play, doesn't matter what genre, what game. The first thing I do, 100%.
This one lets you import your avatar too.
Yeah.
So you can use your actual Oculus avatar in it.
They have like this default like alien looking cyborg weird looking thing.
Yours kicked off to back to the alien.
That's unfortunate. So I guess if you want to keep using your avatar, make sure that you don't accidentally flick the setting off or that it doesn't reset. Always make sure that's turned on. But Yeah, to use your Oculus avatar in multiplayer, you just go in the settings, go into, I think it's the multiplayer options, and then you click yes to using your Oculus avatar. It's pretty cool. Now, unfortunately, we can't see each other playing.
No.
That
But
would
in
be,
a little waiting room area, as you're waiting for the song to go, you can
give each other some waves.
Yeah.
Hey,
And it's cool
Stratus.
that the avatar is sometimes an underrated.
No, I love having the Oculus avatar.
Yeah.
I think almost
You
any
mean being
multi-game.
able to import it into games? Correct?
Yeah, I think almost any multiplayer game should have it.
Absolutely. Well, that and the selfie cam, right?
Yeah. Although I could see for this game that selfie cam is kind of pointless.
Yeah. No, it would be cool if they had if they did a cool visual replay of you playing.
Yeah.
You know, and then you'd probably be inclined to change your avatar because, like, my avatar has a suit on, and it would probably like not be the game that you'd want to play in a suit, sweating all up. And
Yeah, I can't wait for the next Oculus avatar update because mine does not look like me at all. I'm very against, nobody likes like privacy issues and stuff like that, but you should probably be able to import a photo.
privacy issues.
And
If you have a social media, you have no issue with privacy.
But you should probably, I know it's not good for like facial recognition technology and everything like that, but if I'm voluntarily doing it, you should be able to import a photo and have them do a little face scan. Did you have, like EA Sports used to do that. They used to have something called EA Face Scan, where for your like EA Sport games, you could go on their website and upload a picture of you, and it would create a game face. I think it's what they called it, EA Game Face, and it would try to create your face into your player's character.
It wasn't bad.
Why can't we do that in Oculus?
I know, virtual world.
It would make sense. They got your Facebook profile. I mean, if they have all the data, might as well use it for some fun stuff, not just,
Yeah, you're going to get fans saying, let's use your data to
yeah, to
make a carbon copy of you in the virtual world. How's this?
Like
How's
everything
this? We took the liberties of
be
making
voluntary.
one for you.
Should be voluntary.
And if you'd like to purchase your carbon copy of your avatar,
that's dirty.
We'll sell it to you.
That's
Because you
dirty.
gave up all those rights when you signed
As
up
an
on that
NFT,
social.
we'll sell it to you as an NFT.
Right? $100,000
Oh
and you
my
can
God.
actually own you.
No, it's like everything. They shouldn't automatically do it, but you should have the option to voluntarily consent to some.
No, I think we're going to see, obviously real soon, I'm thinking the ability the avatars will take on a little better.
Mm-hmm.
But this game allowing it, as small as it is, I appreciate it. It's just a cool little feature, so you're not stuck being something you don't want to be, especially if you like your Oculus avatar.
Yeah.
So you can use it in the
It's
waiting
just
room.
it's just a bonus.
Yeah.
It's a bonus. What's
No hurt.
what's the one thing I'll flag them on in this game? Because I'm a big fan of the gameplay.
Yeah.
It's a workout. It's not overly repetitive in my opinion. There's great song variety. It's fun. The different songs are mapped very diversely. There's one thing I'm gonna be just critical about.
What's that?
It's something I'll give Beat Saber credit for.
The
is that
lightsaber?
No. That they have that little like single player campaign thing. Well, they'll take you through each song, and there's different challenges for each song. I think for a game like this, that not everybody likes multiplayer, and you're only playing it single player, I think something like that just adds to the replayability.
Yeah, I mean, it could have a take you by the hand mode.
Yeah, for me, like when we were reviewing Beat Saber, that helped me get sucked into the game. Instead of just going in there and being like, well, I don't know any of these freaking songs. I don't know what to select. Like, here's level 1, here's level 2, here's level 3. As we advance, here's some challenges that, they could have don't miss, get X amount of perfects, whatever, or get X percentage of perfects. It would just be a cool thing to add to somebody, who maybe doesn't have friends to play with. And, it's just like, it's tough to just pick a random song. And
I mean,
be
they give you
content with
enough options, to kind of create your own shit. So technically, if you're in solo mode, you can set make it a little easier for you, or make it more difficult.
Just a built-in campaign is always nice.
But
I
won't gig them what they don't have. So, but a good wish list.
Yeah, no, for me personally, that would make it more replayable for me.
So, what do you think they're gonna come out with another one, or do you think they're gonna just keep dumping on this one?
Yes,
Yep.
Same thing as Beat Saber. I don't expect to see a Beat Saber 2. I don't expect to see a Synth Riders 2. Not until we get new hardware.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Because I mean, why would you? You already have such a good
It's not
good
broke.
foundation. The only thing that they could improve in this game is probably the the graphics, and I guess maybe adding a campaign. What would you even do in a sequel? Same thing for Beat Saber besides graphics.
I don't know.
You know, it's like if I was them, I wouldn't even waste time. I would just keep milking DLC,
Milking DLC,
feeding your kids. You know, it's like.
No, I'm happy that this game's popular though.
There's some games that, you know, you play it and you're like, I can't wait for a sequel. There's so much I could see in a future one. It's just like with a game like this, I play it and I'm like, well, what else do you want besides, like I said, the campaign mode and maybe some better graphics?
Just better graphics.
Yeah, that's that.
But I can't knock them for, you know, using technology they have in front of them.
Yeah, especially for coming out in 2019.
I mean, I can knock them, but you know, it's not. I agree.
It's not the
graphically. It's probably the only, and the graphics aren't terrible.
No. When we say that, we'll get to the reviews we'll get to our final thoughts and like our ratings in just a second, and I think that'll sum up, you know, where the graphics stand.
Yeah.
But like, you know, right before we get into that, I kind of did this for a second before. But if you've been enjoying this episode, like I said before, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and like I brushed over, we have a ever-growing online community at Reddit. You can join that at reddit.com/r/rufftalkvr, or if you're international, just do rufftalkvr.reddit.com. You know, we know for some people the slashes are a little bit hard. Yeah, go join that. Join an ever-growing community of Ruff Talk VR fans, and you know, keep enjoying the podcast. So let's get into our final thoughts and ratings.
Alrighty.
So do you want me to start, or do you want to take the lead?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So we got 4 categories here. We have gameplay, aesthetics, functionality, and replayability. Each category is rated on a scale of 1 to 25, with the total of the 4 categories making the final rating. Unfortunately, last week I couldn't do math, and I had an error with my score that you know, thankfully corrected me on before somebody else did. So let's hope I got it right today. So in the category of gameplay, I'm gonna give them a 25. I think that it's fun. It's a hell of a workout. You're gonna sweat. You know, you can lose some weight. You can get in shape. And even if you're not looking for that, it's just hell. The gameplay's fun. There's a great song diversity. Like I said before, the different songs are mapped differently. Not much I can really flag them on for the gameplay. So gameplay, I'm going to give them a 25. Aesthetics, I'm going to give them a 20 out of 25. Kind of like what we were saying before, it's not like the graphics are bad. They're not best on the Oculus Quest, but a 20 out of 25 is not bad at all. So it was saying earlier, like, oh, you know, the graphics, if anything, is the one thing could need work. That's not because they're bad. That's just us being very critical, looking for anything to flag them on. But yeah, aesthetics, I got to give them a 20 out of 25. They're good graphics. So then functionality, we're going to go to 25 because I don't think I've had a single glitch. I don't think I've had a single moment that, you know, I go to hit the ball and I'm like, oh, it didn't register, or that should have been a perfect and it was a good. You know, everything seems like it works properly. I've had no crashes. You know, we haven't lost our multiplayer lobby at any point. You know, can't flag them for anything functionality. So I'll give them a 25 there. And replayability, I'm going to give them a 20 out of 25. It's a lot of fun, especially if you're somebody, you know, self-motivated to just go in there and work out and, you know, try to earn high scores. But I would like to see something like a campaign mode, you know, for somebody who's maybe new to the game, has having trouble picking out different songs, get going. They don't really have, you know, friends to play with. A campaign mode would definitely help the replayability, and especially for somebody like me that overall sucks at rhythm games. Something like that is usually a good foundation to go into, and it's like, all right, I'm halfway through the campaign. Now I'm pretty good at the game. Not pretty good, but I'm at least like competent and I can handle on normal. But replayability nonetheless, I'll give them 20. So we have 25 for gameplay, 20 for aesthetics, 25 for functionality, and 20 for replayability. Let's hope I did this correct. We got 90 for the total overall. So that's a much better score than I gave Beat Saber, and that's not because Beat Saber is a bad game at all. It's just rhythm games usually aren't my thing. And you can get a hell of a workout in Beat Saber, don't get me wrong, especially you play on the upper modes and stuff like that. But even playing on easy and normal in this game, with the amount of ducking, dodging, the punching, oh my God, you're sweating. It's a hell of a workout. It's fun. Great song variety. You know, very little I can flag them on.
All right, so 90.
90. That's not bad for somebody who's not really a rhythm game guy.
Well,
it's the fitness aspect of this I think really set me over.
Yeah, to me the fitness was the secondary byproduct of I didn't know that when I had first gotten it, the emphasis on the fitness, we'll say, but definitely became the byproduct of it. I still like the 120-day challenge. I think it would be smart. And I gave thought to your campaign thing because you're obviously on that. I wish they had a campaign, and I'm like, oh, geez, how would they, just like saying, how would they make a second one? Like, what kind of campaign could they really add? But I got a great one, and it would be a fitness-oriented campaign where your character's growth and development would get better and stuff, like something visual you could see on the screen that would actually coincide with probably what's going on in your real life if they took, like, what's your current BMI and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I call it a campaign. Saber called it a campaign. I think that's why I use that word, but it's basically just, hey, play every song in the sequence with various different challenges.
Yeah,
That's barely called a campaign, but I guess you could use that word.
I kind of like the idea of a fitness campaign. But gameplay for me with this, I give them a 25. But again, I admitted it at the start. I'm probably a little biased because it's right off the bat, they get points for me for being a rhythm game that actually works. That's not laggy or, it's out of time. I do question, like what we learned with Unplugged, that sometimes, if you miss a note in the computer or the algorithm or whatever program thinks you might have hit, we're going to hit the note, then they'll give you that note. So I wonder if they use that same kind of technology because of the speed of stuff coming at you, that if you technically missed a note, they might give it to you.
No, I don't think so. I think Unplugged just does that because of the hand tracking, but I could be wrong.
So I'm curious about that. But regardless, gameplay, I'll give them a 25. Aesthetics, I give them a 20. Graphics are good. They give you different little areas you can, your zone area, I guess you could call it, your play area. You can change that. But, I was giving a lot of thought to, like, how could they make the graphics better? And it's because they're throwing objects at you and they give you the ability to change colors. It's like, maybe it's just because it would clash too much with the backgrounds, and then you would have a harder time seeing the balls. Because I was like, oh, if they did like photorealism backgrounds playing on a canyon or something, who knows? But regardless, the graphics are good, especially for something that's been around since 2019. But they get a 20. Functionality, no issues. Respect the Guardian, respect your ceiling fan, respect your TV, respect everything around you, because you're someone walks in front of you, you could potentially punch them, even, just by flowing from the right to the left, or, how some of those notes might be, one's to the right corner, left top corner, to the
far right.
Yeah, so you're stretching, and I might actually even recommend a little pre-stretch of 2 or 3 minutes, get the shoulders and the legs nice and loose.
Whoa, there's no might. I recommend stretching before you play.
Well, I just say it so I'm not accountable. If somebody stretches and hurts themselves, like, you said I should stretch. I'm like, you might give thought to it, is what I said.
Properly warm up and take care of your freaking body.
Yeah, because, and again, not jerky motions. So I think even for older people, they could play this. It's not, I don't think anybody's going to get hurt by it. The movements are very flowy. It's almost like I said, dancing meets a stretch routine. Kind of working your shoulder around, and definitely squatting, and ducking and diving. So respect the Guardian. But functionality, 25. We've never gotten dropped. Have had no issues playing multiplayer. I have no issues playing solo. And replayability, to me, I give them a 25. It's part of my quiver of games that I'm gonna play every single week. Not overweight, but I enjoy knowing that when I play this, and I have the little counter thing on for, am I losing weight in my Oculus? And it's like, I play 2 songs, and that thing's like, hey man, you met your goal for the day. And I'm like, shit, I just got started. So I already know that, plus my Fitbit and all that, I'm doing my body good by playing this game. And they've got enough going on that I haven't had to spend the money on the DLC yet, even though I want to. I just don't need to.
No, there's enough songs that it's not like, week in, you're out of shit to do.
I love that we're having good, I guess, healthy competition. Most of our multiplayer games are, not necessarily till they get a good boxing one, and then I know it's going to be a different world for me and you for a while. So this has just been a treat. So they get 95 total. I would say it's a must own for sure. Absolutely.
For me, I would say for the fitness games, it's definitely the best
Cheaper than a
fitness
gym.
rhythm one.
It's not going to hurt your cardio.
No, and it's fun. Even just bang out a couple songs just to get in a quick little sweat.
And get a pair of the Kiwi grips that we have, and you get just a
Even
little
more,
bit of extra weight.
Yeah, which visit the link in our show notes for our
our sponsor, Kiwi. Yeah.
They sell these.
I actually think that it over the long term,
I didn't even think of that. I'm so glad you brought that up. It's like
super low weight, high repetition.
I don't know if it doubles the weight of the controller, but it's got to be at least 50%.
Well, how's this? It's noticeable.
Yeah.
When you first lock it in there.
Yeah, it's added weight.
That's one of the things I went right to after we had gotten it was I played Beat Saber because it feels more like like you got the
lightsaber handle.
Yeah, like the actual handle or the stock in your hand if you play shooter games.
I love those controller
but
grips.
I did question if the extra weight, like what health benefit it's not lead weight or anything, so I'm not saying we're putting wrist weights on, but I'm seeing more attention being paid to like weighted things.
No, it's definitely got to make a difference. If it's usually 6 ounces and now it's 10 ounces, it's a difference.
It's a difference.
So it's something.
Especially if you're playing for almost an hour. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
45. If somebody wants to do that 120-day challenge,
I was going to actually call you out. Why don't you do your challenge? You're so quick to create them.
Because right.
Not do them.
Because I think I'm a poor start example.
You're saying you're not fat enough?
No, that's pretty much yes.
That's a terrible excuse.
I believe that. Well, because everyone's body's different, and I know that
you'd be worried that you wouldn't show the results after 120 days.
No, in 7 days I could show the results because I would just change my diet a little better. You know how it is, and then all of a sudden you go, "Oh, I'm not bloated," and there's abs. Hey, thanks, Synth Riders. I did this in 7 days. When the reality is I dropped 10 pounds of water. And
120 challenge means 110 days of normal. Then I fasted for the last 10 days and
my chocolate
dehydrated myself.
Yeah.
Went in the sauna a couple times, and now I'm cut.
So I think I'm a bad example because it doesn't take much. I lose 10 pounds, I'm going to look like, oh, damn.
Hey, I think if somebody played, honestly, an hour, what do you say, 45 minutes?
45 minutes.
45 minutes for 4 months? Come on.
You take the weekends off.
You're going to see a result.
Yeah, but you got to need somebody real stocky.
I could see somebody getting addicted to this game and being like, I'm not taking weekends off.
Well, no, dude. Yeah, I it's crazy because your heart rate's going to go up. You're going to be sweaty. Your Oculus, you're going to have to wipe it all down. I had concerns the other day of sweat rolling into my Oculus. Yeah, I was concerned. I'm like, shit. And this is where it gets stupid. So I'm playing the game, and I can feel water running in my face. And I'm like, shit, where's it going to go? But inside my Oculus, did I stop playing?
No.
Right? Like,
just take off the headset, bro. Wipe it down real quick. Go put your head in a fan real quick,
It was so stupid. I'm like, that's selfish with playing the game that I was risking my...
Your
the second I was done,
Oculus.
I took it off my head and put a little towel in there. And
just had to finish the song first,
But, yeah, I think the 120-day challenge would be real. I mean, and I'm still playing it. I think, and what's crazy is you get better at it.
Hey, you know what I would say, though? For somebody who's, let's say they just bought a Quest, they're going through the store. Beat Saber seems like a high price because it's a little bit more than Synth Riders.
$5.
$5 more, which granted, $24.99 versus $30 is a huge thing. I would say that there's much more bang for your buck going for something like Synth Riders, just in song variety. I remember that was a big issue I had with Beat Saber, was that you feel really obligated to the DLC fast because you know.
Well, you want to hear a cooler song.
Yeah, and it's like there's not that many starting songs, whereas like in Synth Riders, dude, I feel spoiled.
Oh, the pack. I think if you bought Beat Saber now, the packs that they start you with are a lot better than when we had gotten it.
Yeah, but I feel spoiled with Synth Riders. What I'm saying, like there's a lot of value.
You get good bang for your buck.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think on the flip side of that, if you enjoy the game, you're going to notice you're giving your body good bang for the buck.
Yeah, I also think it's much more workout,
Yeah. Oh, no, there's no denying.
I think
And I used to get pretty, you work up a sweat with Beat Saber for sure. But
yeah, I would say you do on the higher difficulties.
This to me is like, I don't, even on easy.
Yeah, no, you're going to sweat.
Warm up to a couple of songs on easy, you're going to feel warm.
Yeah. You don't need to play in the higher difficulties to get a good workout.
It's amazing. I don't know. There's so much potential for
VR fitness.
If they could figure a way for like everyone to be doing it, but you can see each other like you're actually in one of those fitness, like, hey, everybody, all right, now to the left.
The Peloton
Pretty much. Yeah, something
VR.
like that. Absolutely. Why not?
Yeah. VR boxing classes, I think, will be huge.
I can't think of how they could take something like this, though, and that's why I kind of appreciate that I don't see you while I'm playing, because I don't want the distraction of going, hey, there he is.
Yeah, no, it's less to look at.
And when I play Beat Saber multiplayer, I constantly look at
How the other person
people
in the distance.
Yeah. And they do a great job of how they keep you far enough away, but it's still, there he is.
Yeah, he's in my peripheral.
Yep, I can see him standing right there.
Yeah.
He's even waving at me.
Yeah, but no, you know what? One guy who was biased towards rhythm games, one guy who was biased against rhythm games. We had pretty similar scores. 95, slightly higher than my 90.
Yeah, I smiled when I heard your score.
Yeah, no, because it's fun.
And it's cool because you don't give out,
high scores too easy.
No, so a 90 is...
But let's look at this game for what it is. If you're going to, grade it as a rhythm game, it's a home run.
Yeah.
It's a home run. The only thing it's missing, in my opinion, is more single-player content of, like, something to incentivize you to play through the songs.
Yeah, unless you're in it just for the health.
Yeah, which
I
case,
think
if
is
you're
the hook.
Yeah,
I believe that's
I think that's
the hook.
what they hope you to.
Yep.
They even incentivize you that with some challenges and stuff like that.
When you start enjoying it, is when you go, I'm hooked on it, and then you're like, oh shit, I keep sweating, and then your brain goes, hey,
yeah,
this is fitness.
Yeah, and me saying that is again.
And dude, if someone plays it even once a week, for some people that's going to be more physical activity than they get at their job, because they have a sit in a cubicle desk job where they don't move, just their fingers do. So it's like, it's real motion.
Yeah,
good for the family.
and
just buy your own headsets.
That's what yeah. Well, that's what I was kind of getting.
Don't share your headset.
Besides that part, that's kind of what I was getting at. Like,
Gross.
Hey, you just bought a headset for the family. I think that it's a way better bang for your buck going with Synth Riders and Beat Saber.
No, I agree.
It's just.
Although, good luck telling a little kid they can't have a fucking lightsaber.
Yeah, that's the biggest selling thing in Beat Saber. But you know what's sad about the lightsabers in Beat Saber?
What?
For me, that makes me wish I wasn't playing a rhythm game.
Oh, you just want to have a fighting game?
I just want to play with lightsabers in like an action game or something like that. It makes me not want to be in a rhythm game. Whereas like the fists, like the punching,
yeah,
I almost wish they were fists instead of balls. But that's a different conversation. Just giant fists. But
Hulk smash.
Because you don't have to play it punching either. You can just play. That's me because I like to do it like that. It makes it a lot of fun. I
think it makes it harder to get perfects. Like hit the thing perfect. If you're punching the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Unless you have like nuclear aim.
Absolutely. Well, that's why I think you could argue if you went in there with the intention to box, it could probably be good boxing training, especially if these levels were mapped.
With the fluid motions they give you? Absolutely.
And you got to keep in mind, it's not mapped with the intention of boxing in mind. So if a game like this was designed with the idea of, like, let's map these songs and, let's for boxing combos.
Oh, 1 2 1 2.
Yep.
1 2.
Maybe have a ball out to the side that has to be hooked. There's a lot of potential with these type of rhythm fitness games.
No, I think this
and
is
Synth Riders is a great example of it. Knocks it out of the park.
I think this year we're going to see more, and I'm not saying like people are going to abandon games. We're going to, oh my God, everyone's just making health games now. This sucks. I think we're going to see actual more appreciation to the, I can actually work out at home and have fun. And it's, again, I'm not knocking gyms, but
it's gamifying exercise.
Let's be honest. If you spent, what's a gym membership at some places? Almost $100 a month, depending on what your program is. So it's like, I'm talking like you're going there using
Planet Fitness
and shit. Although Planet Fitness, aren't they like real cheap or some shit?
Yeah, they tend to like run promos to get you in. Then
so let's say $50 a month. We'll cut it in half. I mean, you could buy 2 different games right off the bat that are going to work you out pretty damn good.
And
the only thing you're not getting is the weight training.
And here, well, yeah, but as we've already said, you know,
A couple little extra ounces
Sit
on the
on it.
controller
Yep.
never hurts the
a weighted
shoulders or
vest.
arms.
You go put on a weighted vest and play this game. Go have fun. You go tell me that that's not extra. But nonetheless, but
weighted vest.
anything that's made with, you know, gamifying exercise in mind. So even like a sword fighting game, that's an incredible workout. You're swinging your arms like crazy.
Done properly.
Yeah. If it's with it done in mind, you know.
But what
I think that's
kind of like about this is, again, the movements aren't going to be, you know, because I try to think of all the genre that could play it, and I'm like, can an 80-year-old play a sword game?
No,
a bunch
that's
can.
not her market. But a game like this, absolutely.
Yeah, because of those motions.
Mhm.
I don't think it would hurt anybody's body to do those motions.
No.
And it's like,
But what
I almost laugh sometimes when I'm playing, because I'm like, they did this on purpose. This wasn't an accident.
But no, what I was gonna say is, it'll be interesting to see as developers. Yeah, like you said, do you think that this year is going to be the year that fitness kind of takes over in VR?
Not takes over. Just I
just
think
grows a lot?
gets. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows there's a couple of apps and shit you can do, but
So I think that there's going to be one way it'll be done correct and one way that it'll be a colossal failure. If people go in and try to obviously make it fitness, I don't think it's going to be a huge selling thing. I think something that makes Synth Riders great is, and you alluded to this before, you said it earlier, you don't know it's a fitness game until you're already hooked.
Yeah.
It's a game, and then you're like, oh God, I'm working out and sweating. I think that that's how VR fitness will really, blow up. So when I used a sword fighting game as an example before, if you design a sword fighting game with the idea to be a fitness game, but you didn't make that obvious going in,
yeah, it could
like
be
I think
pulled
that
off.
and think Thrill the Fight, that's like an unintentional fitness game. You know, you buy it thinking it's a game, and then like you're working out.
Yeah, 10 minutes later.
That's how I think VR fitness will be big. If somebody tries to design like a VR virtual gym with like running on a virtual, it's just gonna be a fucking failure.
Yeah,
You know, lift virtual weights. Like what in the world? It has to be gamified.
It has to be the look at my right hand as my left hand is doing something else.
Yeah, you have to trick them into working out. You can't. I think if we try to make it overly marketed,
very few people want to work out.
yeah. So if you try to market it towards that, I think it's going to be a colossal failure. But if you trick people into working out by not advertising the working out at all, making it completely, you know, the game experience, and then, you know, a couple hours in, people are like, "Fuck, I'm losing weight." That's how it's going to blow up, in my opinion.
No, I don't disagree at all. Not one bit.
So we're approaching an hour on this one. That's a lot longer than I thought we were going to do on a rhythm game, but
That's my bad.
No, that's my bad too. Hey, I think it's both of us. I think that we could talk for an hour about a glass of water.
Probably.
Yeah, we had great juice this morning. If we want to keep going, you know, we had a great fresh squeezed juice like we do before every podcast. So, yeah. Nonetheless, guys, like I keep saying, hope you enjoyed this episode. Subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and stay tuned for next week.
See you next week.
Podcasting remotely can be a challenge, and when we first began interviewing developers, we ran into every headache imaginable.
From connection issues to video lag to sound quality performance, we knew there had to be a better platform we could use.
That's where Zencastr came in, allowing us to easily connect with guests all over the world. Zencastr is simple to use with no download needed. With studio quality sound, HD video recording, automatic post-production, automatic transcripts, and a cloud backup, Zencastr is the perfect solution for any remote podcast.
If you'd like to have the same easy experience that we did for all your podcasting and content needs, then make sure to go check out zencastr.com/pricing and enter the promo code Ruff Talk VR, and you'll save 30% off your first 3 months.
That's zencastr.com/pricing, promo code Ruff Talk VR. Zencastr, making remote podcasting easy. Hey guys, Dscruffles here. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe and rate us 5 stars on whatever podcast platform you listen to. And definitely don't forget to check out our official subreddit and join us there at r/RuffTalkVR. There you can join a community of other podcast fans, join us for some podcast meetup games, get first scoop on new episodes, interact with us a little bit directly, and more. As well, be sure to check out our official podcast supporter link, the Buy Me a Coffee link you can find right in our show notes, where you can donate to the podcast either one time, multiple times, become a monthly supporter. That way you can help us on our journey to make podcasting a full-time gig so we can continue to bring you more great podcasting content. As well, be sure to visit the Kiwi Design link in our show notes as well, where you can go and shop for different Oculus Quest 2 VR accessories, whether it's knuckle straps, lens protectors, face shields, whatever. Kiwi has you covered. So again, visit the Kiwi Design link in our show notes, help support the podcast, and pick yourself up some sweet Oculus Quest 2 gear.